Well, we had a little incident the other day when a buddy of mine were changing the spark plugs in my wife Chelsea, her 2019 Jeep Wrangler Sahara 2.0 liter turbo with the e-torque system. And in these engines, you have this T-connector here, heater hose T-connector joint. And they're very prone to breaking because they're made of plastic that gets brittle over time as the heat gets to it. And so you're gonna see what happened when a good buddy of mine and I were just changing the spark plugs in this Jeep. It has about 100,000 miles on it, so it was definitely overdue for the spark plugs. So we got that job done, but while doing that, you're gonna see what we ended up doing to this heater hose connector joint and the solution that I hope is going to fix this. All right, so first we'll remove this cover. Just got a couple of 10mm bolts down here, screws, and then it just pops right off. All right, so we got that cover off, and this is the fitting T-joint connector, heater hose connector. And you can see we had to rig it after we noticed that this connector was broken. So we rigged it up, and it's been holding so far until the new part can come in. All right, so I'm gonna get some pliers, try to remove that larger clamp, and then we ended up using this clamp as a temporary fix, but I think I'm just gonna reuse this clamp when I install the replacement part because I just think it holds better. All right, so you can see here what happened as we were changing the spark plugs, replacing with new spark plugs at around 100,000 miles for this thing. This little end popped off and broke off. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get the end out from in there so that I can replace it with the new part, which I just got off Amazon. It's a aluminum T-joint connector, just like this one, but aluminum, so hopefully it'll last longer. All right, so it turns out the piece that broke off that is inside here is dang near disintegrated. And as I'm trying to pull it out, I just keep getting pieces. It's like it's just, yeah, like disintegrated in there. So I'm gonna have to get creative to figure out how to get all these pieces out now. All right, so I was able to finally get all these pieces out, and they were literally just disintegrated inside there. I had to get some pliers and kind of crush the hose from the outside, and then they just disintegrated and fell out. Jeep, you guys got to do better with this, man. Like, seriously. All right, so I got the hose. I'm gonna flush it out real good with some water. Make sure I got all the pieces out of there. Gonna run some pressure through there before I reinstall it with the new part, because I don't want a bunch of these little plastic pieces that disintegrated into the cooling system. So of course nothing is ever as easy as it seems, because this other clamp appears to be in a position, and I am struggling to get a good grip on it with some pliers because it's up underneath there. All right, so I'm gonna keep working on this. All right, so it turns out there's this clip, right, that fits down in there, and so I'll just pull this clip off, and I'll see if I can remove this piece, then manipulate it so that I can get a good grip on that clamp. Yeah, so this is just getting better, because as I am trying to remove this, I remove the clip and I'm trying to pull this off, and this just, again, just disintegrates. I can't get it up off this. I remove the clip, grabbed a hold of it, trying to work it off of there, and the damn thing just disintegrates in my hand. This is ridiculous, Jeep. Holy macaroni, man. Okay, so I finally got the clamp off. That was fun. But yeah, you can see how this thing just freaking disintegrated. I just can't believe that Jeep sends out a product and this is the components that they're using, stuff that just disintegrates while doing its job that it's supposed to do. What a fail. All right, so here's the part I'm gonna replace it with. Hopefully it'll last a little while, because as you can see, this one absolutely did not last. It literally did the opposite of lasting. And the thing is, I hear that thousands of owners of these 2.0 liter Jeep Wranglers that have this T-fitting are experiencing this exact same problem. Good job, Jeep. All right, so I have managed somehow, through a lot of perseverance and determination, to get this piece on. And you're supposed to hear a click as you push this down onto here. Of course, I didn't hear a click, so it may or may not be on there all the way properly. So I guess we'll just have to hook everything back up and check for leaks. All right, so it looks like I got her all hooked back up. Definitely not as easy of a job as it should have been. Still haven't cranked her up. Make sure coolant level's good. Check for any leaks. So yeah, here we go. Wish me luck. All right, so I cranked her up, turned the heater on full blast, let it run for about 15 minutes. Did not notice any leaks. However, I have noticed that there are a lot of those fittings that are made of that same plastic. And I'm not sure how confident I am that these other plastic fittings aren't ready to break and disintegrate and fail miserably like this one did. So why doesn't Jeep just use aluminum fittings instead of this plastic crap that just disintegrates after a while? And now I hear the coolant reservoir is also very prone to developing leaks because it's made of the same plastic crap, and that they make an aluminum one that people are replacing. So Jeep, just start making stuff better so that it will actually last.